Hello, NeXT community. Hey, I wanted to show you something I found here. It's a little synthesizer app for NeXT. So, if my mouse cooperates. And then you can kind of change the whee! So these guys, actually I've been trying to remember their names, David Jaffe and Julius Smith in particular. Doug Keister, I probably would recognize him. But they actually made a really cool expansion board for the NeXT that did all kinds of wacky stuff with DSP. And I couldn't remember their names. So now I'll have something to go by when I do a Google search. And for Gilles out there, he's a musician, so he'll get a kick out of this. Now, I couldn't get the IBM or quantum drives to work, right? One would give a SCSI bus hung error, which indicates it probably didn't have termination, and the other was just saying it couldn't find the OS. So I said, well, let's connect them together, and because I knew one had a jumper for termination, and I was right. So they both came up. And now what I'm finding over here is a bunch of cool apps. Some of them I haven't seen before. They may be 1- and 2-man shops. And there is some interesting old stuff here that I want to look through. Let's see what the jokes are. Let's see if we can find here's a good joke. It says good jokes. So now we're telling jokes. There's a male computer engineer on a cruise ship in the Caribbean for the first time. It was wonderful. Periods of his life, he was being waited upon, but it did not last. Okay, so let's see. It's coming up like kind of looking sketchy. So let's see if they do have it. I know a WN, if we go to their local apps, should be, with any luck, right now. So in right now, if you see a WN, that means it's a right now application. And if we open the good jokes, so I don't look like a joker, if we go back to local apps, is that where I was, or was I under basic? Man, I am just fail. Okay. Am I even in the right? I think I got to go down to this one. Yes. So here's our drive. And both drives sound surprisingly quiet for, being 1,000 years old. So there we go. And let's find that jokes. Where are we? I saw it. I did see it. There we go. Jokes. And then we're going to go to good jokes. And instead of it being ASCII text, it should come up formatted. There we go. Computer freak. Okay. On a cruise ship in the Caribbean for the first time. Let's see if I can do a zoom on the text. How about we just change the font up here? There we go. Pretty neat stuff. Okay. Of course, that's... Are you not entertained? A hurricane came up unexpectedly. Ship went down almost instantly. Man found himself, he knew not how, swept up on the shore of an island. There was nothing around the island, no person, no supplies, nothing Man looked around, some bananas, coconuts, but that was it. He was desperate and forlorn, but decided to make the best of it. This sounds like Survivor or the Castaway or Tom Hanks. So the next months, ate bananas, drank coconut juice, almost looked in the sea for a ship to come. To his rescue, one day he was lying on the beach. Oh my God, my eyesight is horrible. Stroking his beard and looking for a ship. He spotted movement out of the corner of his eye. Could it be? Wasn't a ship? No, from around the corner came a rowboat. The most gorgeous woman he'd ever seen. Or at least in 4 months. She was tall, tanned. Her blonde hair flowing in the sea breeze gave her an almost ethereal being. She spotted him, and he was waving and yelling and screaming to get her attention. She rowed her boat, told him in disbelief, "Where'd you come from and how'd you get here?" She said, "I rowed from the other side of the island. I landed on this island when my cruise ship sank." Amazing. I didn't know anyone else had survived. How many of you are there? Where did you get the rowboat? You must have been really lucky to have a rowboat wash up with you. It's only me, she said. The rowboat didn't wash up. Nothing else did. Oh, boy. This better be G-rated. Well, we'll get booted off YouTube. How did you get the rowboat? I made the rowboat out of raw material that I found on the island, replied the woman. The oars were whittled from gum tree branches. I wove the bottom from palm branches, and the sides and stern came from a eucalyptus tree. But, asked the man, what about tools and hardware? How did you do that? Oh, no problem, replied the woman. On the south side of the island, there's a very unusual strata of alluvial rock exposed. I found myself, God, fired it into a certain temperature in my kiln. It melted into iron, blah, blah, blah. I used that for tools, and the tools made the hardware. Enough of that. She said, where do you live? And the man was forced to confess that he'd been sleeping on the beach. She probably has a castle over there. Well, let's row over to my place, she said. We both got in the rowboat and left for her side of the island. Woman easily rowed them around to the wharf that led to the approach of her place. She tied up the rowboat with a beautifully woven hemp rope. They walked to the stone walk around a palm tree. There stood an exquisite bungalow painted blue and white. Let's call it home. She sat down. Please, you to have a drink? Nose to the bed. One more coconut juice and I'll puke. It won't be coconut juice. When replied, how about a pina colada? Trying to hide his continued amazement. All right, man. The man accepted. They sat down on their couch to talk. After a while, they exchanged their stories. Always had a beard. The man replied, I'm clean shaven all my life, even on the cruise ship. If you would like to shave, there's a man's razor upstairs in the cabinet in the bathroom. The woman had no longer questioning anything, went upstairs to the bathroom. There in the cabinet was a razor made from a bone handle, 2 shells, honed to a hollow ground edge that were fastened on its inside. The swivel mechanism showered and went back downstairs. You look great, said the woman. He's going to get eaten. I think I will go and slip into something more comfortable. So she did. The man continued to sip his pina colada. After a short time, the woman, wearing a fig leaf, strategically positioned and smelling faintly of gardenia. Tell me, she asked, we have both been out here for a very long time with no companionship, you know what I mean. Have you been lonely? Is there anything that you really miss? Something that all men and women need, something that it would be really nice to have right now. Yes, there is, the man replied. She moved closer to the woman while fixing a winsome gaze upon her. Tell me, do you happen to have an internet connection? Sounds about right. This is probably before smartphones. Lame. Okay, where was I with this crap? Let's try and send a print job now that I've tortured you with poorly read jokes from the 90s. Okay, so we're going to go to Next Apps, Print Manager, and this should be a lot faster with these SCSI hard drives. Okay, Q. As I say, the jury's still out for me on the SCSI 2 SDs. Maybe it's something I'm doing, but it just seems like, let's see how fast it is, and then hopefully with any luck, it's going to take the paper in and print something. Please go. Oh my God. Is it coming out? Hey! All right. So, let's try another one. See, I just have to tell crappy jokes and then shit works. I mean, now that's what I don't understand. Okay, it's saying paper's jammed, but we just saw a clean print. So I know I've got something here. And so if I clear the path, I should be able to back this up, right? And it's going to look for me probably to open. I'm excited. Because it just prints one print, and then it says it's jammed. And so one of my customers suggested take a look like the old copiers for paper stuck in on the sides there. I'm not really seeing anything, but I'm going to take a closer inspection a little bit later. Now, once I clear that, hopefully, see, it kicks in where it doesn't with the SCSI 2 SD. It's going to try again, right? And this is where I'm wondering, is it jamming at the front here or at the back? But what I like about this hard drive is it's like, with the SCSI 2 SD, it just sits there and freezes. Okay. So there's the clear paper path. To make sure it's not on the back end, maybe there's a sensor back there I'm not aware of. I'm pulling that sheet back. Gonna lift this. Should show that I've cleared it. We'll try one more time. Come on, baby. It can't be a jam. So the other thing I'm going to look at is sensors. If it gives me another paper jammed in your printer, we're also getting voice, which we weren't before with the SCSI 2 SD. Okay. There it goes. Did it come out back there, or is it jammed again? Dang it. Okay. So it's kind of catching right at the end, which I can look and see if there's an adjustment there. Maybe one of the gears is cockaroo. I'm going to test one more and see if it says paper jam. See, okay. So if I lift it up, act like I clear it, drop it back down. See if it takes the paper. Okay, so the paper going through seems to work okay at the front end, right? I mean, how much, can I do? So I'm going to take a look. I think that paper jam has to do with the back end. It's just not kicking it out enough. But this is exciting news. For Will, I know you've been waiting a while, but I'm going to go and send you this video. Crappy joke included. And at least I have a printer that seems to print. We're getting the paper jam at the end of the print job. So that's something I should be able to fix. Stay tuned. No more crappy jokes for today.